Thank you all for joining, and it's really nice to see all of you over here. Yeah. Just a little glitch in our YouTube live, so just 2 minutes. Let me just check it out, and we can start class. Okay. So, Saisha, can you switch off your video, please? Thank you. All right. So, thank you all of you who have sent in your homework. Sorry that we had a glitch, we couldn't collect it. It'll be very nice if all of you could just send it again. And also, all the best to all those children who are going to participate in the role play today. And it's a guessing game, so everyone should participate. And let's see who these personalities are. So, going back to our Ramayana. Yes. So we were in Aranyakand last time. We hadn't finished it. So I'm going to go back. Yeah. All right. And so we remember that Marich had come in as a golden deer, and he was the most beautiful deer. And Sita told Ram that she wants that deer. And even though Lakshman said, no, it's Marich, it's just a shapeshifter. He's a Rakshas. Let's not go. But she said no, and Ram still said, okay, since Sita wants it, let's go get it. If it's a Rakshas, I'll kill him. Anyway, that's my mission. If it's not, then Sita will be happy. Now, when Ram goes, then we know that we did last time that Marich went dodging behind all the trees, and then eventually Ram killed him. And then, as he was dying, he shouted out, "Oh Sita, oh Lakshman," in Ram's voice. And hearing this, Sita got very, very apprehensive, and she told Lakshman, immediately go. I think Ram's in trouble. And Lakshman said, you know who Ram is. So how can he be in trouble? So this is another illusion created by Marich. No, I will not go. And then she forces him to go, and he goes. And then what happens? We saw that who appears? Ravan. So that was Ravan's plan, which came true. And then Ravan's moment of triumph. He says he approaches Sita in the guise of a ascetic, a sage, who was dressed in reddish brown. His hair was bound in a knot up on his head. He was wearing sandals. He held an umbrella, a staff, a water pitcher, all the signs of a rishi. And he says, what are you doing here? This is no place for a lady. This place is infested with rakshasas. And not even yakshas, kinnaras, gandharvas come to these parts. These are home of demons. You cannot stay here. Why are you here alone? Then Sita welcomes him, gives him arghya, which is a very special drink given to a guest. And then he says, oh, Brahman, please sit here and I will serve you. And then she talks about that her husband is Ram, Dashrath Putra Ram, and her husband's brother Lakshman, who serves them. And then Ravan looks around in the horizon to see whether Ram and Lakshman are coming. And then he says that, I am Ravan. I am the supreme lord of all the Rakshasas, Devatas, Asuras, everyone who live in these three worlds, they live in my fear. And you are such a beautiful lady. And after seeing you, I do not even like my other wives. So you become my wife, Sita. You become the queen of Lanka. and I'll give you 5,000 maids who are dressed in the best clothes and best ornaments. And then you come to my island kingdom, Lanka, where all these splendid palaces and gardens, and my golden palace is there. And at these words, Sita was infuriated. She said, "What? Ram is even better than Indra. You are just a fox who craves for a lioness. I am beyond your reach. How dare you, try to even think of marrying me? I am Ram's wife. Just forget it, Ravan. You're foolish if you try to think that you can, your plan will come to fruition. No way. You and Ram are very different. He's a lion, you are a jackal. He's an ocean, you are a ditch. He's 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 the best in the world. He's a peacock and you're a crow. When Ram confronts you and he takes out his bow and arrow, you will surely die. So stop it, fulfill some fear in your heart because you don't know the strength of Ram. How dare you? And then what did Ravan do? He caught hold of her and he carried her. And then Sita was helplessly crying, "Oh Ram, oh Ram." And all the birds hid inside the branches, and all the snakes they hid under the bushes. And then he put her onto his chariot and he started flying into the air. And then from there, Sita looked down and she started saying, "Oh, Godavari, please tell Ram what's happening." Then she looked at all her companions in the forest, the trees, the birds, and says, "Please, please tell Ram what's happening. Please, the trees, the flowers, the fruits, everyone, tell him that Ravan is stealing his jewel away." And she started. She's saying that Ravan is disregarding dharma, and then she started saying maybe Kaikai wanted this, and Kaikai will be very happy. But none of them could respond to Sita's piteous cry. And then suddenly, without warning, Jatayu, Jatayu, the divine bird who was the friend of King Dashrath, he appears. He was sitting on top of a tree, and then Sita appealed to him. She said, "Arya, Jatayu, I'm being carried away like an orphan. Please look what's happening to me. This Rakshas is merciless. He's cunning, he's strong, he's armed. Don't try to stop him because you're old. He'll harm you. You go, Jatayu, quickly, you go. Fly to Ram and Lakshman and tell them what's happening. You don't try to fight Ravan." But then Jatayu starts fighting. And then Ravan unleashes a volley of arrows, and the bird just flaps it away with his wings, and it shatters Ravan's shield and armor. And then what does he do? He goes and breaks, he destroys the chariot along with all the donkeys pulling it. And Ravan looks at Jatayu and says, "Oh, what's happening? How did this happen?" He looks at his demolished chariot and he looks at his dead charioteer and his lifeless donkeys. And then Ravan gets very angry. Ravan then, what does he do? He immediately, and by this time he puts Sita down now. He puts her down on the ground and he goes and he starts fighting with Jatayu. Immediately Sita starts running around behind trees, trying to hide, trying to call for help. She says, "Ram, Lakshman, save me, save me." And then she starts asking for help, but she's crying. She's crying in her anguish. She goes from tree to tree, from vine to vine, calling out to Ram. And then Ravan harms, cuts off his Jatayu's wing, and Jatayu falls down almost dead. And then he carries her and he starts flying. Now he has all these powers, right? He starts flying away, and then he flies and flies, and then he says, "Sita," he says, "I am the brother of Kuber, son of his stepmother, and Ravan is my name. I have 10 heads, I have 20 hands. Nobody can defeat me. I have all the boons given by Lord Brahma. And Kuber, now vanquished by me, he lives on Mount Kailash. I have also stolen his aerial chariot Pushpak. Indra fears my anger, and the winds blow gently because I subdue them. The trees are scared of me, and my city of Lanka on the mountain of Trikut, it's better than even Indra's Amravati. It has mansions of gold, it is silver studded, it has best jewels. And once in Lanka, you will never again even think of Ram. What are you crying so much? What is this use of Ram? He left his kingdom and you're wandering around in this. Do not reject me, Janki. Come on, come with me. Be so. Sita's eyes was blazing with anger. She says, "How dare you think about this, Ravan? You're so evil. You're so immoral. How can you steal someone else's wife? Stealing the wife, you cannot think that you will be spared. Ram will not spare you. No nectar of immortality, no Amrit also can save you from this." So then she starts looking around for help, and then he just carries her and he starts flying. And then as Sita is desperately looking for help, she looks down and she sees a group of about 5 vanars, monkeys. They're sitting on the peak of a mountain. So she bundles all her ornaments in a piece of silk which she has tears from her, and she drops it to the monkeys. And then after crossing the Pampa River, Ravan then turns towards Lanka and he flies over the forest, hills, lakes, and he goes across the boundless blue ocean. And suddenly appears. And then Ravan enters this magnificent city, which he is so proud of. And there are these fearful Rakshas women, and they all come, and then Ravana appoints them to watch over Sita. And then he takes her around the palace. He says, "Look at my palace, look at all the luxury I have. See, you can stay here, you can have a palace of your own." But Sita does not, she rejects everything, and she's scared because she's surrounded by these huge, ugly looking Rakshasis and Rakshasas. So she walks out and she says, "Nothing, I will not stay here." At the meantime, Ravan calls 8 of his best people in Lanka and says, Go to Jansthan, fully armed, keep an eye on Ram and Lakshman and keep reporting to me what all they do." So then after saying that, he again goes to Sita, and Sita says, doesn't even look at him. So she goes out and she chooses to stay in Ashok in the garden. So Ravan tells the Rakshasis, take her to Ashok Vatika in secrecy. No one should know that she's there, and guard her, he said. And then he tells them, if any harm comes to her, I'll kill all of you. So you better. So Sita was taken to this beautiful garden which has birds and blossoming trees. And she doesn't even look at the garden. She doesn't even look at it. She's just oblivious to it. She just goes, sits under a tree, and she's crying. Now, meantime, what happens is Ram starts running towards sorry, this is how Sita throws the jewels to the this thing, and this is Ashok Vatika. Yeah, and then she sits in Ashok Vatika. Now, meantime, Ram is completely distraught and he starts running towards the hut, and he sees Lakshman running towards him, and he's shocked. He says, "How come you're here? Why are you away from the post of guarding Sita?" So first of all, Ram, he scolds Lakshman, and then quickly he gains his composure and says, "Will Sita be safe, Lakshman? You left her alone. Will Sita be safe alone? And will not the Rakshasas eat her? Are you sure we'll see her unharmed?" And then he looks up and he looks at the omens and he sees all the beasts and birds are facing the sun and they're crying. So he looks up and says, "My heart is heavily, it grows heavy. My left eye is throbbing. Surely Sita's stolen, or she's been slain, or she's been carried away." So then he says, "Lakshman, where is Sita? Where is Sita? Why did you leave her? Why? We've been wandering in this wilderness. She agreed to come with me to the forest. Where is she now, Lakshman? How can I live without her?" And he starts lamenting. "And not for a moment can I live without her. How can I live without her? What will happen? if I can't find her, what will happen? Will I die before the exile ends? Will my vows go unfulfilled? Will I leave this world and Kaikeyi will rejoice? Is this what is going to happen? Or will Kaushalya have to serve Kaikeyi? If Sita is not there in the hut to welcome me, then I'll die. I'll die. Tell me, Lakshman, tell me that she's alive. Or have the demons devoured her? Have they eaten her? And he is so sad. He's just completely distraught. And he tells him, bring her back, Lakshman, bring her back. So he goes. So then they reach the hut, and Ram sees that there's a deer skin and all, and there are all signs that Sita has welcomed someone, but she's not there to be seen. And he says, oh my, then he loses his composure. And he starts asking all the beasts and birds. He goes to each tree. He says, Kadamba tree, have you seen Sita? Ashoka tree, have you seen Sita? Bilva tree, what about you? Have you seen my Sita? She wears this yellow silk and she has this skin which is so soft. Have you seen her? Then he goes to Godavari and he says, have you seen her? Then he sees a deer. He goes to the deer and asks, you know, nobody is telling me, but you be brave. Dear, you be brave and tell me what happened. Tell me what happened. And then then Lakshman starts blaming himself. He says, oh, I shouldn't have left her alone. I shouldn't have. I should have just waited for you. I shouldn't have left her alone. I shouldn't have even listened to what she was saying. I should have just swallowed all the insults. And then they go forward. And then Ram and Lakshman, they see this huge form full of blood lying over there. And Ram is so distraught, he doesn't even recognize Jatayu. He thinks it's a Rakshas and all that blood is Sita's blood and that Rakshas has eaten Sita. So he takes out his sword to go kill Jatayu. Jatayu says, no, don't kill me, don't kill me. I tried my best, Ram, I tried, but Ravan just flew away with Sita. I tried my best. He killed me. I'm just alive to tell you that Ravan has stolen Sita and he's gone southward. And also I want to tell you that this time, this moment that when he has stolen Sita, according to astrology, it means that whatever you lose at this time, you will get it back. So do not fear. Go south and you'll be there, and Jatayu dies. He leaves his body. And because he was Dashrath's friend, normally you don't do rituals for animals, right? After they die, you don't do any of the Shraddh rituals. But because Jatayu was such a sweet devotee, and he was also a friend of King Dashrath, Ram and Lakshman's father, Ram and Lakshman personally did the Shraddh, the rituals after Jatayu died, and then they start moving forward. Then suddenly, as they were going forward, a big Rakshasi named Ayomukhi comes and tries to devour them. Lakshman just cuts off her ears and nose. By now, he's become very practiced. He cuts off so many people's ears and nose. So quickly he cuts off her nose. Then she goes away. Then when they go forward, another Rakshas comes, and this is Kabandha. Now Kabandha does not have a head, and his stomach has a mouth and all his teeth and everything, and he has these long hands. So with those hands he takes a grip of Ram and Lakshman. Kabanda says that I'm very hungry and the devatas have sent you to fulfill my hunger, so I'm going to eat you up. So hearing him, Ram tells Lakshman, quickly we'll cut off his hands. So Ram cuts off his right hand and Lakshman cuts off his left hand. So immediately after that, with the shock of the pain, Kabanda comes to his senses and he asks, who are you? So Ram says, we are from the Ikshvaku Vansha. I'm the son of Dashrath and this is my brother Lakshman. Who are you? And why are you roaming around the forest in this terrible form? So then Kabanda says that, oh, I'm very happy. I'm waiting for you only. Ram, this form was because that once I tried to frighten a sage called Stulishara, and angry, he cursed me And he said that you forever you remain in this vile and villainous form. Then when I begged for forgiveness, he said that you will be redeemed one day when Ram cuts off your hands and he cremates you. So Ram asked Kabanda that, do you know whether, did you see Sita being carried away? He says, see, I cannot tell you now, Ram. I don't have the power to look in the past. But what you do is you cast me into a pit before the sun sets and you burn me. Then I will resume my original form and then I can tell you. So then they do that, they burn him, and then he comes to his radiant, form of a devata, and his spectacular chariot comes down. And then he says that, look, I'll give you a tip that you will go south, go, and you'll become friends with Sugriv, a Vanar called Sugriv. He lives in exile. He's been banished by his brother Vali, and Vali is the son of Indra. So Sugriv lives in this mountains of Rishyamukha on the banks of Pampa, and he's very, he's very strong. He has great valor, and he will help you. So you go there and everything. So they start going towards Pampa River. Now, when they went close to Pampa River, they see that there is a ashram of sage Matanga. Now, the disciples of sage Matanga, they used to collect all the forest fruits and reeds and flowers for their master. But no longer, the ascetics are not there, the sages are not there any longer. But their servant called Shabari, a renunciate, she still lives in the hermitage. So her guru told her that you stay here and keep doing seva. One day, Ram himself will come and give you darshan, and then you will be liberated. So she was waiting for him. She was very, very, very old. And we all know the story of Shabari. So she offered him fruit, and then she quickly goes, gathers these beautiful sweet fruits on the banks of Pampa. Then Ram recognizes Shabari that she has reached great heights of penance and wisdom, and then he asks her if he could see the ashram of Matanga, which he had heard a lot from Kabanda. Then she led the princess through the forest and she showed them the grove called Matanga Vanam. Yeah. Then she goes over there. Then he asks her, he says that, can you tell me where I can find Sugriv? So he says that, she says, come, I'll show you, which is the Rishimukha mountain. So she shows him the Rishimukha mountain. And then after that, Shabri ascends to the heavenly planets. So then Ram and Lakshman go to Rishamukha mountain. So that is the end of Aranyakand. Now next is Kishkinda Kand. Now we are entering Kishkinda Kand. Yeah. Now Kishkinda is the kingdom where the Vanars lived. That's why it's called Kishkinda Kand. Now Kishkinda Kand has thousands of warriors. These warriors who are Vanars, who are monkeys, and these Vanars can, shatter the earth with their feet. They can make the mountains shudder. They can even torment the oceans. And their booming voices as they roam the forests and all, they can take any height. They can become as big as they want. They can become whatever form they want. They can take anything. They had a lot of powers. Now, like I told you in the beginning, that I will tell you which devatas. So we said that Brahma told all the devatas to go get children as Vanars. So the small, I can't go through the whole list, but the most the general list is that Jamwan, the foremost of bears, he was Lord Brahma's son. So one day when Lord Brahma was yawning, he came out of his face. Yeah. Then Indra gave birth to Vali, chief of monkeys, and he resembled the Mahindra mountain and he had a mighty body. Then Suryadev, the sun god, he begot Sugriv. So Sugriv was Suryadev's son. Vali, his brother, was Indradev's son. Then Tara, the wife of Vali, She was also the monkey chief. She was Brihaspati's offspring. And she was very, very intelligent because she was Brihaspati's offspring. Then Kuber got the glorious Gandhamadana. Vishwakarma's son was Nala. And Nala, then later on, we will learn in Sundarkand that how he built the bridge. Vishwakarma, who's Vishwakarma? He's the architect of all the devatas. So his son also will have those qualities. Neel was the son of Agni Dev. Ashwini devatas, they procreated Manda and Dvivida. Varun got Sushena, Parjanya, and Sarabha, who were of great strength. And Vayu, the wind god, got the son named Hanuman. He was mighty, he was graceful, he had a body as hard as a diamond, and his speed equaled that of Garuda's. Now, Hanuman is also an expansion of Lord Shiva because Lord Shiva also wanted to take part in this. So, Hanuman also has an amsha of Rudra in him. All right. So now Ram and Lakshman go to the Rishimukha mountain and seeing these two Kshatriyas approaching, Sugriv thinks that Vali has sent them. So Hanuman goes disguised as a Brahmin. And Ram does not even look at him because Hanuman is not in his true form. Ram recognizes that he's come disguised. So he asks Lakshman to speak. So Lakshman spoke, he introduced himself, he introduced Ram, and then he told the reason why they've come here. And then Hanuman reveals himself and he says that we're very happy and and that Ram has come to become Sugriv's friend and hears about his glories. Then Sugriv asks Ram that what happened. So he says that Sita was kidnapped by Ravan, and we've come to ask your help. So he said, yes, I know. Just some time back, one Rakshasa was flying in the air with a lady, and she threw something, and I think that is Sita. So he says, okay, what did she throw? Go bring it. So Sugriv quickly goes inside into the cave, and he fetches this little bundle of jewels which Sita had dropped while being carried away. And looking at them, Ram is moved to tears and he felt faint. And then he tells Lakshman, you look and tell me whether these are Sita's. So then Lakshman looks at the jewels and he says, Ram, I don't recognize the armlets or the earrings because I've never looked at Sita Maiya's face or body. I only recognize the anklets, which I see every day when I bowed at her feet. So Lakshman shows the etiquette, the proper etiquette of greeting any other woman. So every other woman, apart from your wife, is a daughter. So that's why we also, among our society in ISKCON, we say Mataji to all this thing. And also, if you remember in Balkand, Janak also considered Sita as a mother. A daughter is also like a mother because she serves, because she is the she serves, she takes care of the father also. So Lakshman shows the epitome of etiquette. Then then he says that, look, I'm also being tricked by my brother. I have also lost my wife and I'm living here in exile. So Ram asks him, what happened? Tell me. So he says, in days gone by, Vali, my older brother, we all held him in great esteem, and my father, after him, Vali was crowned the king of Kishkinda. And I also served him with great reverence. Then one day, a Rakshas called Mayavi, the son of Dundubi, he came and he started a quarrel. And there was a quarrel between him and Vali over a woman. So Mayavi arrived at the gates of the Vanar kingdom and he challenged Vali. So Vali immediately rushed out, disregarding anyone or the women in the palace, and we all tried to stop him, but he disregarded. So, for the love of my brother, I also followed him so that no harm comes to him. So Sugriv said that when Mayavi saw the brothers coming after him, he grew fearful and he started running. Now, all of a sudden, this Mayavi, he dove into a grass-covered hole in the ground. And then asking Sugriv to wait, Vali went after the Mayavi Rakshas. And then Sugriv waited. Sugriv said, I waited outside patiently for weeks and months, but there was no sign of Vali. And after a whole year passed, suddenly one day, from the hole gushed out blood. And thinking that Vali was dead, and was being very scared that the Mayavi Rakshas would come out, I put a stone on the mouth of the hole, and I came back, and then I was installed onto the throne. No, but soon Vali broke the stone, and actually Vali had killed Mayavi. So Vali came back, and then he saw that Sugriv had taken over the kingdom. So, not listening to anyone, even Sugriv's things, he started fighting and he exiled Sugriv and he started chasing Sugriv everywhere to kill him. So, then all over the world, he chased Sugriv and then finally Sugriv remembered that Vali had a curse that he could not come to this mountain, Rishimukha mountain, so he came here. So then Ram asked him, tell me about this curse. Then he said that, oh, don't worry, I will, I will get your kingdom back and your wife back. And they made an agreement over fire. He said that I will dispel all your grief, but you need to tell me more about Vali. So then he says, Sugriv tells him about Dundubi. He says that Dundubi, this demon, he was a terrible looking buffalo and he possessed the strength of 10,000 elephants and he was wandering around looking for a suitable opponent. So he came to Vali, he came to Kishkinda and he started, rushing towards the city. So Dundubi arrived at the gates and then he started beating a large drum. And Vali was enjoying inside with his wives and drinking wine and all that. So he went outside and said, what are you doing? Why are you challenging me? If you're challenging me, it's better you run away immediately because otherwise I will kill you. So Dundubi started laughing and he says that you should not challenge me in the presence of ladies and all because you're going to get beaten up and soon you will lie dead. So Vali laughed at this arrogant Dundubi and he said, come on, let's fight. So both of them started fighting, and the demon roared and he lowered his horns, he pointed towards Vali and started running towards him. And Vali immediately seized Dundubi by the horns and swung him around and threw him on the ground. And immediately blood flowed out of the demon's ears, but he still got up and started charging. So, like this battle raged on for some time. And then finally, the same thing happened that he swung Dundubi in the air for a long time and then he just smashed his body. Now, at this time, when he did that, just before Dundubi died, some drops of that blood fell on Rishi Matanga, who was on the mountain. So the Rishi stood up in rage and he looked around and he saw Dundubi's dead body there. And by his mystic vision, he could understand that Vali had done it. So he immediately cursed that the monkey who has thrown this dead body, if he comes even within 4 miles of the radius of this ashram, he will immediately turn into stone. So that's why Vali does not step on this Rishimukha mountain. So then he said that, see, Dundubi was so big, but Vali could kill him. So I don't know whether you will be able to, maybe you're not that strong. So Lakshman starts laughing. He says, you don't even know the strength of my brother, okay? Don't just speak nonsense. So then the bones of Bundibi was lying on that mountain. So Ram just kicks it, just touches it with his toe and it goes flying such a long distance. Then Sugriv says he's still not convinced. He says Vali can. So there were these 7 charlotte trees, and he says that one more test is there. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, but in the past, Vali has easily broken many such trees. So Sugriv asks Ram that if you can pierce one of these trees, then I will agree that you also are strong. So Ram just smilingly he took up his bow, he strung it, and he placed it on his bow. He placed an arrow on the bow. He took aim and he released the arrow. And what did it do? It cleanly went through all the seven trees. Sugriva asked for one, but it went through all the seven trees. And this was the arrow which was dipped in gold. And then what happened? The arrow then entered the earth. It went right down to the subterranean regions. Then it came back up, out of the earth, and it again entered Ram's quiver on its own. So Sugriv was very happy. He says, okay, you are very strong. Then Ram says, okay, now Sugriv, you go to Kishkinda, you challenge Vali for battle, and I'll be hiding outside the city. Bring him outside, and then I'll help you. So Sugriv goes and he challenges Vali, and he says that then the two Vanars starts fighting. But then Ram is very perplexed because both Sugriv and Vali look the same. They're like identical twins. So he doesn't know which is Sugriv and which is Vali, so he just leaves. And then Sugriv is all beaten up. He runs away and he comes back to Rishimukha mountain. He says, Ram, you promised me that you will help me and you didn't do anything. I mean, if you wanted me to be beaten up, you should have told me, na? I mean, anyway, I'm beaten up. So Ram says, look, I'm very sorry, but I couldn't know the difference between the both of you. So now what you do is he tells Lakshman, go bring a Gaja Pushpi garland, this fragrant garland, and put it around Sugriv. So when you go to fight, I will know that you are Sugriv and he is Vali. So he says, now go again. He says, Sugriv asks him again, look, are you sure? Because Vali has this boon that whoever comes against him, his opponent, his power is reduced by 50%, half. His power becomes half. So Ram says, don't worry, you go. Doesn't matter, you go. So again, he goes. And then when he goes the second time, then Tara tells, look, Vali, it cannot be Sugriv doing this alone. I'm sure someone is backing him up. Don't go. The omens don't look right. Don't go. Vali says, don't be silly. Whoever it is, I'll take care of it. And he goes. And then Ram is hiding behind the trees, and then they start fighting. And at an opportune moment, Ram releases his arrow, and it hits Vali. So then Vali lies down, but he doesn't die because he's wearing this gem-studded golden chain given to him by his father Indra. But his blood is all coming out because of the arrow. Then he says that he says, he looks at Ram. He says, why did you? He asks Vali asks Ram. He questions Ram. He said, why did you kill me? We had no enmity between us. So Ram says, look, the earth is ruled by the descendants of Manu, and now it is ruled by Bharat. And we are his brothers. Lakshman and I are his brothers, and we are obliged to establish dharma. A younger brother is like a son, and his wife is your daughter-in-law. So you have sinned by stealing his wife, and you have also not shown him any compassion. That's why it calls for a death sentence. So then Vali says, but then why did you hide and kill me? You should have come in front and killed me, because and eating monkey flesh is also prohibited. So Ram says, Kshatriyas can hunt, and when you're hunting, you have to hide and hunt, and you are an animal. So killing you by hiding behind the tree, I have not broken any dharma. And also, I have not done it to consume you, to eat you. Because Raja Rishis also, when they go hunting, it's not for eating, it's not for consuming. It is done as a Kshatriya dharma. Hunting is part of Kshatriya dharma. And then Vali leaves his body and he goes, and then Ram tells Sugriv to ascend the throne, and then Hanuman asks Ram to stay in the palace. Ram says that, look, I have taken a vow I have given a vow that I cannot even enter a village, forget a palace. So then Ram instructs Sugriv to remain in Kishkinda for a few months. And then he says that you must take care of Vali's wife, Tara also. Let her continue to be your advisor. And Angad, who is Vali's son, let him be the prince. Let him be the throne prince. Let him, the crown prince. He will succeed you. So, saying all this, he gives them all this thing, and then this is the time of the monsoons. It's called the Chaturmas. This Chaturmas, which is happening now, is normally monsoon time. That time you cannot travel, especially in forests. So, Ram says, you go, and after the monsoon season ends, when the rains end, then we'll start our search again. So, Sugriv says that let the rains end, then we'll dispatch all the monkeys and look in all directions. Now the rains end, but there's no sign of Sugriv. There's no sign of the search party. So then Ram says, I think Sugriv has forgotten. Lakshman, I think you better go and remind him. So Lakshman goes and he's very angry. He's very angry. He says, Sugriv. And then everybody's scared, He says, oh my God, Lakshman is angry. He's come. Angad goes, welcomes him. Then Sugriv hears. And he tells Tara, Tara, you go. So Tara then goes quickly and she goes she puts a pallu over her head and she says why are you here, sorry, Sugriv comes here. So Lakshman immediately becomes uh, peaceful when because in front of a woman he doesn't want to show anger. So he tells him that this husband of yours, he tells Sugriv's wife that he's forgotten his duty. He's so intent on pursuing pleasures. 4 months have already passed. Ram is waiting, and there's no sign of Sugriv, and he just remains drunk. He's enjoying, he's unaware. And he tells Tara, Tara, drinking is always condemned by the wise. It's the root of irreligion. You must not drink alcohol. So he says, please remind Sugriv of his religious obligation. And then Hanuman also advises Sugriv, you've delayed too much. Come on now, get up. So then Sugriv immediately comes and he says that 4 parties, he makes 4 groups. He says four of them will go to 4 different directions. He says north, south, east, and west. And the south, people who are going south, will be headed by Angad. Hanuman, you go with Angad, and also Jamvan will go with you. So now this one is very happy. Ram is very happy, and he says that he goes to Hanuman and he gives him his ring, which has Ram's name written on it, and he says, "Take this token of jewel and oh jewel among monkeys, and show it to Sita. If you find Sita, show it to Sita, and this will reassure her that I have sent you." And I'm very sure that you will soon see Sita. So immediately all 4 parties leave, and then he asks Ram asks Sugriv, Sugriv, you've given such nice instructions to all of them that go to this area, that area. How do you know the world so well? How do you know? He said, Sugriv said that my angry brother chased me in all directions. So I dashed everywhere in fear and I saw every part of this wide earth, and all the time Vali was behind me in tremendous speed. So then finally I remembered Matanga's curse and I came to Rishyamukha mountain where Vali left me alone. So Ram started laughing. Ram started laughing and he said that, that's so, that he patted him on his back and he said, good. Now after 1 month, 3 parties came back. 3 parties. The people from north, east, and west, they came back. But the party with Angad, Hanuman, and Jaman who went south, they were still in mission. So that we will talk about next time. We will continue what happened when Angad, Hanuman, and Jaman went south, and what happened in their journey, we'll continue next time. So we'll stop for now. And if you all have read what is the schedule today, we have in our schedule an art class now. So this art class is, unfortunately, we wanted to do art with you, but because we have time restraint, we're going to have Deepa Mataji, who's going to show you how to do it. And then you also will have that video on YouTube, which you can go back, see, and do it again. So let me introduce you to Deepa Mataji. Now, Deepa Mataji is a very, very good trained dancer. She's been dancing from a very little age. She's done lots and lots of stage performances, and she's trained many, many children. She runs her dance Bharatanatyam classes in Arabian ranches. If anyone is interested, you can contact us and we can give you her number. She is also in charge, or she is instrumental in training all our children for all the dramas and stage shows which we put up. And she is absolutely wonderful and totally indispensable. Anything we need related to creativity, art, drama, dance, music, we go to Deepa. So I hand it over to our sweet teacher, Deepa Mataji, and have fun. All of you, watch carefully, yes?
Hare Krishna. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yes, Krishna.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Can we have your videos on just for the next 15 minutes until we finish this? So it'll be more interactive. I can see you. Do you want to put your videos on? Okay. Great. I want to see your beautiful faces. Okay. Today, what we're going to do is a craft actually with some pistachio shells. Can you see me? Yeah? Okay, we're going to use these pistachio shells and I have kept them here to dry. I've colored them as well. Okay, these little pistachio shells, I've put different colors on them. Can you see? Okay. And I'm going to make them look like birds sitting on a tree. Okay, let's see how that works. I have a rough sketch of a tree here, which you can't see properly, but I'm going to use a black sketch and go over it so that it becomes brighter and you may all be able to see. So I can hold this for you like this and draw the tree as well. See. I'm just going over the outline here. I'm going to draw a tree with lots of branches so we can make the birds sit. Okay. I want you all to try this later when you have time. Today, tomorrow, whenever you feel like trying your hand at some art. Because this was a lot of fun. I did with another group. They enjoyed it too. Okay. So the tree need not have a specific pattern. You may follow whatever pattern you feel like, okay? So this is the main trunk of the tree and there are branches on both the sides. Okay, we are almost done with the tree outline. Okay, so we have a tree here. Okay, are you able to see? Okay, great. Now, the next step would be, You can have a, just leave it, let me manage. Okay, you can either color the tree with brown, or you can leave it just as it is with a black outline. It's up to you what you want to do. I want to color the tree with shades of brown. So let me show you. I'm using two shades of brown. One is the dark brown and one is amber. Okay, I'll just go over the tree.
You can use color pencils, you can use crayons.
You can use oil pastels, color pencils, sketch pens, paints, acrylics, whatever you find your hands on, whatever is available at home. Okay. So this is how I'm coloring. Okay, look at this. Because I'm holding it vertical and I'm trying to show you, it's not coming out very neatly, but then you can do it. You take your time and then do it slowly whenever you're able to do it. Okay, so I'm just using two shades of brown here, so that's how the trees would look when there is light on one side and when it's it is brighter, and on the other side would be a little bit darker. So just to give it that natural look, I'm using two shades here. You can do the way you want and what you like, but this is just an idea. Okay, so you can just color the tree this way. Okay, and then to make it look smooth, when you use oil pastels or color pencils, take a piece of paper or a tissue or whatever and just go over it like this once, so that it gives a nice smooth finish. If you do not like the smooth finish, you want it to look like a real tree with the rough edges, that's fine too. Look, so that the strokes are not visible. So I just did that. I want to just smoothen it a bit, not too much. Okay, so my main tree and the branches are ready. Now, I showed you these pistachio shells, which I've already kept ready. I used acrylic paints on the pistachio shells. You can even use oil pastels and color the shells. See, this is what I got. I used different color mediums so that I can tell you what to use. So this is the oil pastel I used on this pistachio shell. It's not as bright as the acrylic paints, but nevertheless can be used. And this is no mess. Okay, so this is one way of doing it. This is the acrylic color that I had, the pink one. If your mama has some oil paints at home and that's the only choice you have, no worries. You can use oil colors on the pistachio shells. You can use poster colors, or if you only have sketch pens, just use sketch pens on the pistachio shells. Okay, it'll be a little dull, not as bright as the paints, but it'll still look very nice. Okay, just go ahead and color with whatever you have at home. Now, I have some glue here. So I'm going to apply glue on some spots wherever on the branches. No, it's fine.
No, put it down, it's okay.
I'm going to apply glue on some spots here on the tree and make the birds sit on these branches. Okay, be liberal with the glue, otherwise the shells will fall off the tree. Okay, it'll take 5-10 minutes to dry and stick properly, no worries. So I'm just placing them randomly. There's no particular pattern. Are you able to see, guys? No, wait. If I hold it vertically, they'll just fall off the thing. Yeah. Are you able to see now? I've just placed two birds. One is silver, one is pink. I'm going to place a few more and then show it to you. Okay. Oops. Okay. Okay, and here goes another one. Okay, look at this. I can't show it vertically too much because they'll all just fall off now, because it takes about 5 minutes to hold properly. So I've applied the glue and I just randomly placed the birds. I can place a few more, okay, like this, wherever. And then we'll draw a small, tiny little beak and make it look like a bird. I'm just going to show you how. Okay. Now, I have a red sketch pen here. After it dries completely, okay? Don't be in a hurry. After it dries, but because we are running short of time, I'm just going to show you now. But when you do it, just leave it for 15-20 minutes. Let the shells hold on to the paper nicely. And when they don't fall, pick it up and then you can do it. I take a sketch pen here. I'm going to draw a tiny little beak here. Did you see the beak? Can you see? Okay, now they look like birds. Beaks. You can do it with red, you can do it with black. Can you see the beaks? See, the one here is already falling off. Okay, it needs time to stick. Can you see the beak? Yeah, so you'll have to do the beaks that way. And then I want to show another technique to draw the leaves. Okay, here I have a earbud. Okay, the tip of the earbud, I'm going to dip some green paint. Any paint, as I already told you, poster colors or any green paint that is available at home. This is just one way of doing. If you just want to draw the leaves with a sketch pen, you can just go ahead and do it. I just tried this and it's very interesting. I wanted you to know. So I have a palette here. I have green color. So I'm just dipping the dip of the earbud like this. I'm going to show you how I made the leaves. See, can you see? One here, another leaf here. Can you see they look like real cute little leaves? That's one way of just doing the leaves. If you don't have a brush, don't worry. If you have a earbud at home, just go ahead and do randomly wherever you want on the branches. Look at that. When it dries, it looks beautiful. They look like real leaves.
This is what it looks like when
Okay.
they're dried.
So yeah, I already made one this morning and kept so that I know this takes a bit of time to dry and all that. Just for you to get an idea, this is how the finished product would look. See, the birds are seated. I put the beaks and I put a little dot here for the eye on the pistachio shell. Okay, so that makes it look like a bird, an eye, and then the beak. Okay, if you want to add more like tail, I'm just showing you examples. So that's why I did. If you want to make a little more, add feathers here or feathers, it's up to you how you want to do it. And I made the leaves with the same technique with the earbuds. Okay, so this is how the end product would look. Are you able to see, guys? Everyone?
Beautiful. It looks very nice.
This is very easy. If you don't have pistachio shells at home, don't worry. You can use little marbles, those glittery marbles, which has one surface is flat and the other is convex. Those kind of marbles also look very cute. And one of the kids yesterday, they gave me this idea. They didn't have pistachio shells. They put little buttons, all kinds of in all shapes and sizes. He had buttons, so he put that on the branches and put a little beak, and that looked very cute too. So you can be creative and use your imagination. This is just to give you a simple idea. You can do the way you want and put it up in your room. It'll look beautiful.
Thank you, Deepa Mataji, for the lovely session, for the lovely and creative session.
Lovely to see all your beautiful faces. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Supriya Mataji. Thank you, Sujata Mataji and Preeti Mataji. Thank you.
Also, you've got lots of comments on chat saying, Mataji, it looks amazing. It is very beautiful. And thank you. So I think they were very happy.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. God bless you all. Thank you. I will leave the chat now. Okay?
Yeah. Thank you. Can we all say thank you to Deepa Mataji? She can always hear
Thank
us.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you.
Okay,
Mataji.
okay, now mute, all of you mute now. Okay, so Hare Krishna. I hope all of you will make this one today. Yeah, today at home you can make it and show it to your parents. Okay, now we are back to another interesting session. So thank you, Supriya Mataji. We enjoyed your Ramayana session. It was beautiful as always. So now let's all of us get ready. Keep your eyes and ears wide open.
It's for Kahoot only now.
Kahoot today will be in the end if we have time. Yeah. Okay. Now we are going to have role play. Okay. Now, so keep your eyes and ears wide open. We are going to have some exalted personalities from our scriptures who are going to visit us and say something about themselves. Yeah. Okay. Y'all can stop your video. You can mute your video. Yeah. Thank you. Arshia, is it Arshia? Can you mute your video? Thank you. Okay. So few senior Gita class students have agreed to come and do their bit of knowledge sharing with all of us today. Yeah. So I want you all to listen very carefully. They have put so much time and effort to prepare so all of us can get to know about these great personalities. So today we have around 6 of them. Yeah. Each one of them have attended Gita classes for more than 5 years and they are very fluent with many shlokas from Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so each participant will give all of us a clue. Yeah, maybe 1 or 2 clues in the beginning. So whoever can guess, just type your guesses. Yeah, don't speak. So now participants, I will call out each of your names. So please be ready. Remember to unmute your audio and video before you start to speak. Okay, Hare Krishna, and let's welcome Ria. Are you ready, Ria? Yes, so here is Ria. Yes, we are waiting to hear from you.
Hare Krishna. I am the son of Abhimanyu, as well as the grandson of Arjuna. Arjuna was one of the 5 Pandavas. Who am I? During the Battle of Kurukshetra, I was
Yes, Manvik, you're right.
in Uttra. Can you guess now?
Yeah, they have guessed, Ria. You can go ahead. Can you be a little louder, please?
The voice was glitching. In the Kurukshetra battle, all the sons of the Pandava brothers and Abhimanyu were mercilessly and unfairly killed. So Uttra, the mother of Parikshit Maharaj, knew that they were going to kill her only baby as well. She began praying and crying with love and devotion to Krishna. Ashwatthama, the son of Dronacharya, tried to kill the baby using the Brahmastra, a weapon that can be directed to an exact aim. The Supreme Lord by entering into the womb of Uttra. As the baby in the womb of Uttra, Parikshit could see the Supreme Lord in a very small, minute size. As always, Krishna protected and saved the baby of Uttra. The baby was called Parikshit. He was named Parikshit because he went searching for the Lord who had saved him and whom he had witnessed as an unborn child. One day, Parikshit was hunting and he got lost in the forest. The king, who was lost and tired, was looking around for food and water. He saw Shamika Rishi, who was in deep meditation, and the Rishi never responded for Parikshit Maharaj. Enraged, The king put a dead snake on the sage and left. That made the Rishi's son, Shringi, very upset, and he cursed Parikshit Maharaj. His curse was that the king would die in a week by the bite of a snake bird. When Shamika Rishi heard about the curse, he told his son that it was wrong because King Parikshit was a good and righteous king. Parikshit Maharaj took the curse as a blessing to attain and serve the Lord. He wholeheartedly accepted the curse. He had to spend his last 7 days hearing about the Lord. Shukadeva Goswami narrated the Srimad Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj until his time of death. He's a great example for Shravanam hearing. Hare Krishna.
You're not unmute. Sujata, you have to unmute.
Sorry. Thank you. Thank you, Ria. It was a wonderful presentation. Thank you very much. And to all of you, please listen. There might be some questions from these personalities as well in Kahoot. So I want all of you to listen. Okay, now I welcome Bharat. Bharat, yes, there I can hear his voice, but we can't see. Oh yeah, here he is. Yes, Bharat, go on.
I was one of the strongest warriors in the Kurukshetra war, and I was responsible for slaying all 100 Kaurava brothers. When the war started, I gave such a fierce loud roar that horses and elephants standing nearby passed out. Can you guess who I am? I killed the demon Dushasana, held up his blood, and chanted the Manyu Sukta as an offering to the Lord. Another name for me is Vrikodara, because at times I ate half of the total food consumed by me and my Pandava brothers. Can you guess who I am now? I have the strength of 10,000 elephants and outpowered my Kaurava cousins in wrestling bouts and played practical jokes on them. Duryodhana, my eldest cousin, was my greatest enemy, and I killed him using my Gada. During our exile, I killed the demon Bakasura. Duryodhana, my cousin, and the eldest of the Kauravas, was always inimical to me, so much that he wanted me dead. Duryodhana hatched a cunning plot where he poisoned my food and threw me in the river Ganga. Thankfully, the Naga king Vasuki saved me and apprised me with the hatred of Duryodhana. The Naga king also bestowed me with the immense strength of 10,000 elephants. Later, Duryodhana hatched another plan to burn me and my brothers alive at a Lakwa place, Lakshagara at Varnavatra, that Duryodhana had built there. Lakwa is highly flammable. Thanks to Vidura, me and my brothers managed to escape from that palace. I played a very important role in carrying my brothers and mother to safety, and I am also renowned for my great appetite. I am the second son of Pandu and Kunti, although my father is originally Vayu. My name is Bhim.
Thank you, Bharat. It was powerful and strong presentation. I hope everyone will agree with me. Thank you, Bharat. Okay, next we welcome Manya. Come on, Manya. We are waiting to hear from you.
Hello. I'm an ardent devotee of Lord Narayana. I always spoke about the Lord to my friends. I started hearing the Bhagavatam when I was in my mother's womb. Who am I? Okay, I'm going to read another line in case you don't know who am I. My parents' names are Hiranyakashipu and Kadyu. Who am I? You are correct, Manvik. I am Prahlad Maharaj. My demonic father, Hiranyakashipu, tried to tried to put me through many miseries because all I ever spoke was the glories of Lord Narayana. I was sent to Gurukul to learn about my demonic clan and ancestors. Instead, I was sparing the Lord Narayana's names and chanting his holy words. Hiranyakashipu summoned a stampede of elephants to crush me. He put me in a dark room full of snakes. He also tried to throw me inside a pit of fire and push me off a huge cliff. But I survived all of them because of my faith in Lord Narayana. He saved me from all the tortures my father tried to put me through. When my father challenged the existence of Lord Narayana, the Lord himself appeared as Narasimha Bhagavan and killed my demonic father and restored my dharma. I'm going to say a shloka that Prahlad Maharaj spoke about the 9 ways of worshipping the Lord. Shravana Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Pada Sevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakyam Atmani Vedanam Iti Pumsarpitar Vishnu Bhaktische Navalakshanat Kriyeta Bhagavati Yada Tanmanye Ditam Uttamam. Thank you.
Thank you, Manya. That was a lovely, lovely presentation. Thank you very much. Okay, so who is coming next? We have Namish. Namish, welcome.
I appeared as the son of Kashyap and Aditi. I am a Brahmana dwarf. I'm a brahmachari.
Namish, we can't hear you.
I appeared as the son of Kashyap and Aditi. I am a Brahmana dwarf, a brahmachari. Vaman Dev was the fifth avatar of Lord Vishnu. He was the dwarf avatar who came down to protect the Devtas from Mahabali. Lord Vaman Dev appeared in this world from the womb of Aditi, completely equipped with a conch shell, disc, club, and lotus. His bodily hue was blackish, and he was dressed up in yellow garments. After his appearance, the Lord assumed the form of a dwarf, Vamana. Lord Vaman Dev, in the form of a Brahmin dwarf, went to Mahabali while he was doing a yagya. He asked Mahabali a simple request of 3 steps of land, and Mahabali, being a generous king, decided to give him those 3 steps of land. But a sage named Shukracharya said not to agree to him because he knew he was the Lord Vishnu himself in an avatar. So, but Mahabali, when he heard this, was overwhelmed that the Supreme Personality of Godhead had come at his doorstep, and he happily agreed to give him those 3 steps of land. Then Vamandev grew in size and with 1 step covered the entire earth. And then he took another step and covered the entire heavenly planets. After this, there was no space left for him to place his 3rd step. So he asked Mahabali where to step next. Mahabali asked the Lord to step on his head. The Lord was very pleased as Bali Maharaj offered himself to the Lord. He was a perfect example of Atma Nivedana. So Lord sent him to the planet of Sutala. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Namish. Thank you. That was an amazing presentation. So, who is next? So, here comes Radhe. Hare Krishna, Radhe.
Hare Krishna Mataji and everyone. We live on the banks of the Yamuna River in Vrindavan. The wealth of cows and calves are my possessions, and all the cowherd men and their wives are my subjects. The relationship between me and my son is one of the most celebrated mother son relationships of all time. I am the queen of Nanda Maharaj. My son was born to Devaki and Vasudeva, but as fate would have it, it was me and Nanda Maharaj who brought him up. My son is admired by all and is also named as Makhanchor. The birth of my son is celebrated as the festival of Janmashtami. It was me who witnessed all the beautiful leelas of him as he turned into a magnificent youth who mesmerized everyone who came in contact with him. Can you guess who I am? Yes, you all guessed it right. I am Yashoda Maya, and this is my son, Krishna.
Hare
Would you all
Krishna.
know why I was chosen to be Lord Krishna's foster mother? Nanda Maharaj and myself performed great penance in our previous birth. Lord Vishnu was happy with our prayers and appeared right in front of us. He asked us what we wanted, and we said that we wanted to treat Lord Vishnu as our son. Lord Vishnu was amused because he is the creator of the whole universe. However, he never knew what a mother's love is like, and that is why he consented to our request and granted us this boon. Hence, when Lord Vishnu appeared on earth in his Krishna avatar, it was me, his Yashoda Maya, who brought him up, despite not being his biological mother. Krishna was fond of butter as a child and would steal it from home and neighbors too. I would hang the butter pitcher high up on the roof so that Krishna wouldn't reach it. But Krishna, with the help of all his friends, used to steal the butter and eat. I used to witness their mischief, get furious on Krishna, run after him to punish him, but he always mesmerized me with his beautiful eyes. Let me tell you a small story about my Natkat Lal Bal Gopal. One day, Krishna was playing in the sand and he put the sand in his mouth. I, being concerned, asked him to open his mouth. Do you know what happened next? I wasn't ready for that at all. I saw the entire universe inside that little mouth. There were 7 oceans, the earth and the mountains, and seas and galaxies and stars, all the moving and stationary objects, all the planets and the moons. Narayana was also resting on his Adishesha, the divine snake, with his consort Mahalakshmi. Being blessed as Krishna as my son, I have been one of the luckiest mothers in all the 3 lokas. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. What a beautiful presentation, Radhe. I love Krishna also. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Guru, Hare Krishna Guru.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna
Okay.
Mataji.
So we have now Vedant. Come on, Vedant. Hare Krishna. Vedant? Yes. Oh, lovely.
I am known as the eternal spiritual spaceman and the transcendental traveling musician. Can you guess who am I? I was born from Lord Brahma's heart as his most dear son. Yes, I'm Sage Narad. In my first life, I was born as a Gandharva. Once there was a Sankirtan festival, so instead of singing the glories of the Lord, I glorified the demigods. For that offense, I was cursed to be born as a Shudra in my next life. In my next life, I was born as the son of a maid's servant who was inclined to devotional service. My mother used to serve the Vaishnavas, and I also had the same opportunity. I also had the opportunity to take the remnants of their meals and hear them speak on transcendental subjects. These 2 activities helped me move forward in my spiritual life. The Vaishnavas showered the blessings on me. I meditated day and night. After my mother's death, I traveled to dedicate every moment in spiritual realization. And one day, the Supreme Lord appeared, and I was able to see the true form of Lord. In my next birth, I was born as Narad from Lord Brahma's heart. I had acquired a transcendental body. I was born to assist the Lord in his mission with my relentless effort. I transformed the life of many people to the path of devotion. I always traveled around the universe with my divine musical instrument called the veena, given, given to me by Lord Krishna himself. As a pure devotee of Lord, I always engage in singing his glories and delivering the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra to sincere souls and instigating them in advancement on the spiritual path. Hare Krishna.
Sujata Mataji, you're mute.
Sorry. Wow. Awesome, awesome, Vedant. Thank you. Hare Krishna. It was an awesome presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you, Manya. Okay. Thank you to all our dear participants. They did a wonderful presentation. It's because of them we had the darshan of Parikshit Maharaj, Lord Bhim, and Prahlad Maharaj. And then we had, Yashoda Maya, we had Baby Krishna, we had Narad, and then we had Vaman Dev. Thank you. Hare Krishna to all of you. They all did a wonderful presentation. Can we all thank them by a loud applause? Now you can unmute. All of you, come on. Thank now. Thank you. Hare Krishna to all of you. Okay, now I'll hand over it to Supriya Mataji.
Yes. Hare Krishna, that was so wonderful. Everybody looked amazing. I loved the presentation today. It was so good. Did everyone enjoy? Yes, because I enjoyed a lot. Such a beautiful Yashoda Maiya, such a handsome Narad Muni, and of course Bhim and Parikshit Maharaj, and who else?
Vamandev.
Vamandev. Vamandev's umbrella was so nice.
Yeah.
This umbrella was so nice. Okay, so shall we have a quick Kahoot? Yes. If you want a quick Kahoot, I want you to unmute and say yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes. All right. So give me just a second to set it up. So I hope you were all listening very carefully. All these children, they have been attending the classes for so many years and they've become so good at it. They speak so beautifully and they know all the pastimes of the Lord. It's so nice. And now all of you also have the chance to join our regular classes. So now after summer classes are over, you must not all just vanish. You must join our regular classes. Okay, so there's your pin. 7167359. Can you all see? Preeti? Okay. Okay. Okay, just waiting for another minute. Hurry up, those who haven't joined, quickly. All right. I'm going to start now. Yes?
Mataji, I'm still joining.
Okay. All right, join. Yes, have you joined?
Now,
All right, so we can begin now.
I joined in.
Who is that? Advika, you've joined now. Okay. Sansha, you can switch off your video. All right, I'm starting now. Ready? Here goes. First question. What is the name of the, oh my God, sorry, Vanar Kingdom. Oh, look at the spell check. Sorry. Okay, the first answer is Kishkinda. Just do Kishkinda. Oh. Oh, sorry. Sorry for the spell check. I'm so sorry. It was supposed to be Vanar Kingdom and it became Canada Kingdom. Anyway. Okay, next. I hope there aren't any more. Ravan's chariot is pulled away by which animals? Horses, deers, reindeers, donkeys. That's right. They were donkeys. Remember, I'd mentioned also. Oh, nice. Riandia, Ayushi, Manya, Naman, and Sharan. Well done. What did Sita drop from the sky? Bundle of nuts, bundle of ornaments, bundle of sticks, or rice? Correct answer, bundle of ornaments. No, she did not throw rice. Ayushi, ooh, good leap. Oh, Manya, Sharon, and Anushka, well done. True or false? Sita stayed in Ashok Vatika. True, she did stay in Ashok Vatika in Lanka. Sharan, ooh, that's a big leap, Sharan. Well done. Hanuman was son of which Devata? Varun, Vayu, Agni, Indra. Yes, Vayu Putra Hanuman. And the last one. Oops, Ayushi, very good. Sharan. Sharan and Ayushi, just 10 points. Wow. Anushka, Saisha, and Josh. Last one. Vali could not step on Rishimukha mountain because of a curse. True or false? 2. He could not step on it because of sage Matanga's curse. Let's see who's on top. Third place, Anushka. Second place, Ayushi. And on top is Karan. Woo. Well done. Okay, well done, Karan, Ayushi, and Anushka. Well done. Okay, so we've done for today. Thank you very much. It was a wonderful, wonderful session. Such an enjoyable session. And yes, thank you very much. And wonderful art. We see you all on Tuesday. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
That's really sweet.